AP Physics has a reputation for being brutally hard. Students call it a GPA killer. Some teachers tell their students to avoid it altogether. A lot of people want to know, is AP Physics really that hard? Reputation really is earned. Most AP subjects have a pass rate of about 60 to 70%. In 2015, AP Physics 1 had a pass rate of 39%. But I have good news. Actually, over time, the pass rates have been increasing, and in 2025, there was a nice jump up, and the pass rate is now right in the middle at 65%. There's a catch though. Still, only 1 in 5 students get a 5. That means that getting a top grade is still incredibly difficult. My name's Ben. I'm an AP Physics tutor that helps students get that 5 on an AP Physics exam. There are 2 reasons why AP Physics is hard. The first is the volume of content. When I was in my junior year, my physics class had 5 topics. AP Physics 1 has 8 topics. So there's just more material that AP Physics 1 covers than most other physics classes. The first topic that I did was kinematics, and the first topic in AP Physics 1 is kinematics. So the topics of the first 5 are the same. There's just more material. So that means that teachers need to cover the material more quickly, and it feels more overwhelming for students. Last year, I had a student that came to me after failing his first 2 AP Physics tests, kinematics and forces. He got into very bad grades and needed support. Now, I was able to work with him, and he ended up doing super well in the whole course, but it took him until the 4th chapter to feel like he wasn't drowning anymore. The second reason that AP Physics is hard is because of the style of questions. Most high school physics courses do what's called plug-and-play questions. They give you an equation and then some numbers, and you have to plug the numbers in and do some algebra. But AP Physics doesn't care if you know how to use a calculator or not. They're looking for something deeper. The way they ask questions is conceptual, abstract, and really forcing students to understand the fundamental ideas and do first principles reasoning. For example, sometimes they'll ask a student to derive an expression. They have to move variables around in an abstract kind of way. Sometimes AP Physics will do what's called quantitative reasoning, where students have to write a paragraph showing that they understand really what's going on. Here's an example question from a traditional physics course. It says a plane must reach a speed of 30 meters per second for takeoff. How long a runway is needed if the acceleration is a constant 3.0 meters per second squared? So to get this question right, a student has to identify the right equation, put the numbers in, and then calculate it with algebra. This is understanding physics, but it's a plug-and-play style of question. Here's an illustration of what an AP Physics question might look like. A ball is thrown and follows the parabolic path shown above. Point Q is the highest point of the path. Points P and R are the same height above the ground. How do the speeds of the ball at the 3 points compare? And there's 4 multiple choice options. And this problem involves understanding components of velocity, the difference between velocity and speed, and the idea of magnitude, and understanding how the y variable changes and how the x variable doesn't change, and putting it all together. So this question really is requiring students to understand everything that's going on and to put it together in a comprehensive kind of way. Now, this is one of the reasons I love AP Physics. As a tutor for AP Physics, I really get to engage with students at a conceptual level, and we really get to wrestle with what's going on together in the physics. There's something that you can do to improve your chances of getting a 5 in AP Physics. I call it practicing to the test. Now, teaching to the test gets a lot of bad press. People think it means stiff learning or unchallenging learning. But with AP Physics, practicing to the test is actually the elite strategy that helps the best students do the best. Because AP Physics is so deeply conceptual, if you're grappling with what the test is asking you, you're actually grappling with the deeper concepts in the physics. Teachers that engage students in FRQ style questions and AP Physics level concepts earlier on throughout the course are going to help their students do much better in the AP Physics exam. But not every student has such a teacher that will help them to do that. So students have to practice to the test on their own. What you need to do is engage with AP Physics style questions from the very beginning of the year. So when the exam comes, its difficulty isn't a shock. To help you out, I've built a free community called the 5 Club. In the 5 Club, I have free practice tests for every one of the 8 topics in AP Physics 1. And I have 2 levels of practice tests. I have a plug and play level of questions, and I have a totally separate second test that is the AP Physics Deeper Understanding style of question. These tests are completely free and are designed to help you stretch yourself to gain the skills of deeper understanding that AP Physics required. You can find the link below to get your tests for completely free. So, is AP Physics hard? The answer is yes, it is a hard course, but the real problem is most students aren't taught how to think in the right way. And I believe that almost all students have the ability to learn this kind of way of thinking. They just need the right environment to do so. With the right preparation, a 5 is completely possible. I'll see you inside the 5 Club.